intrepid adventurers. Tonight, 60 of the Crimson Moon Chronicles. I wanted to thank each and every single one of you for joining us tonight. If you missed the last episode, our heroes finally made it to where the forge is supposed to be, and they went down into the dungeon known as the Shrine of Sisu. There they were faced with great many puzzles and having to try and outwit Sisu themselves. They finally were able to make it to the penultimate challenge that lied within, facing against the spirit of malice itself. After besting the creature, they were given the ability to go into the forge and actually forge the legendary weapons that their senseis had before them. Our heroes stood proudly, grasping their newfound powers, being declared as heroes of Thera. As the walls crumbled around them, they saw the massive Hydra Sisul themselves, and they heard a familiar voice coming from it that did not sound like Sisul. It was the voice of the Mikage Sujiro himself. If you missed that episode, click the link, watch it, get caught up on all of our episodes. Now, the Mikage has told them about a newfound power, a boon that he has gotten from Sharlock. As he twisted and contorted his form with his daughters at his side, standing before them is a draconic vampire, elegantly standing atop the rubble. The mighty voice of the Mikage calls them out. What will happen tonight? Will our heroes finally decide to use their weapons? Will this become such a naughty thing to do? Join us and find out, my friends. On tonight's episode, sit back, grab an ale, and let me tell you another tale of the Crimson Moon Chronicles.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Hey,
Long time no
everybody.
see.
Been a bit.
As the Mikage's talons dig into the rubble and twist around, you see all of these crimson bats that are flying around, gathering energy as they fly back into the chest and around the neck of the Mikage, as the bats themselves form what looks like his flared collar and a like a kind of the ascot that he had that was very properly floofed out of his dress shirt. They all flutter back in as you see a crimson glow dart throughout his body. Well, what are you going to do?
Dang it, I'm looking for
As
something.
you see his daughters kind of some of his youngest daughter is crouched on her knees as she's laying her head upon her talons. Can I play with them, Daddy? Not yet, my love.
Who is Valra?
Excuse.
Valra.
Oh, why does it ring a bell?
He was looking for her. He was speaking to her when he made the deal with the witches.
How dare you?
2 people.
Where did you find that name?
You asked her forgiveness. You said you wanted what was best for your children and the world. But you're wrong. Sharlock will not give it to you.
You see what looks like a bloody tear go down his scales as his daughters all look up to him. Pay them no mind, my daughters. You will see in time what I have. Valra understands what I had to do. Or at least, I hope she did.
You've given your beloved children.
I saved them. Just as I will save. As you see his bats starting to flood the ceiling. Morgal, what were you going to
made
say?
them monsters.
I saved their lives.
But now they're going to be hunted for the rest of their existence.
What would you have done with your own children?
I cannot say I would have done different.
They would have died. I searched the world for a way to save them.
You said you want them to be alive again.
There is no being alive when you go this far.
Do you not see this new form of mine?
Yes, and it comes with an incredibly high cost.
But it is life anew.
Yes,
Just
and
because
what are you
put
going to
new
pay
paint
to
on a
have
fake
it?
castle does not mean that it's not a fading castle.
Do you miss watching a sunset?
I think your daughters miss being able to play in the sunshine.
It's a great feeling getting to look out on rolling hills, and the sun hits those hills just right.
To be able to have normal friendships, normal loves, and sweethearts.
We've
That is
all
the
made
awesome-
mistakes.
Only ever loved one. And she was taken from me. I will not lose anyone again.
That is the way the universe works.
His wings unfurl as you see the crimson energy start bleeding out as he you see snow start to fall in front of your faces.
Mick, I believe this would be you.
There's one other option.
As you
Well,
see,
I mean, more the cold
as
one.
you see a swirl of energy appear right in front of the Mikage. As you see someone heavily built, that is standing there looking at the Mikage. Donned in red clothing,
Do we know
with
this?
dire wolf
Sorry.
fur
You broke me for a
surrounding
second.
Oh.
all around.
Hey, Red.
As you hear,
Red.
Here.
Well,
Mikage Sujiro, I am
Oh.
deeply sorry about what has happened to you. As his foot shuffles around, you see this absolutely jacked, bearded man
Oh my
that is in
god.
front of you.
Not the Red I was thinking.
No.
As you see a massive double-bladed axe that has red and green running through the wood grain. And it just has one name that is carved into the axe. Klaus.
Big Santa. I was not expecting Santa Claus here.
Saint Nick. Oh,
Klaus.
that makes me wonder where something else is.
Well, come to me and know better.
I love it.
Okay.
The Crimson Blades, I presume.
Yes.
Yes,
you.
Mr. Claus.
yeah.
Good. So I did find the correct Crimson Blades.
There's more
There's-
than.
There's more than one.
I guess.
Yes.
A big world.
I don't mean to intrude upon what has been happening here. As he says, I'm going to need to borrow you for a few moments. As he snaps his finger, and you all are in a completely different place. As you see inside the snow globe is the moment that you were just in. As you see the Mikage's wings unfurled and the snow billowing inside of the snow globe as he puts it up for a moment. As you all start to look around, you notice that you are on a large ship.
Ah,
On this ship, you all see not small elves, but ancient sylvan elves that are donned in gold, green, and red attire, as some of them look battle ready with dual scimitars that are almost curved like candy canes.
Leon
Documenting
pull out
everything.
a
It's
journal.
like I was.
Goes
I
to
was
it.
told
Oh
so many
wait, I don't have
stories.
it.
I didn't understand
Fine.
any of that.
Wow.
You wouldn't
You
happen
see-
to know a Samhain, would you? You have very similar tactics.
I'll take that as a yes.
Samhain. He's actually one of my cousins.
That tracks.
Ah, good to know.
Okay.
Yes. I know each of you very well. As he boops Rokai on the nose. You can't help but smile as you look at this man. As each of you look at him, you almost remember back when you were a child, seeing him for a brief moment as you awoke on Midwinter Day to a brand new present that was right beside your bed place. Finding candy in your socks that you hung around your door. On midwinter morning, you were very happy and knew exactly who this man was, but you believed him to be only myth. As you see him before you, you can tell that this man is no mere myth, but he seems to be more than that. Flesh and blood, but also someone that holds a massive ship that, as you all are being brought to the deck of it, you see that it is being pulled by 12 massive
Those
reindeer
are
that
big
are
animals.
armor clad. And you can see that these reindeer, they don't seem to be your average reindeer. And at the forefront is a Kieran,
Oh,
Oh.
guiding
Cool.
each and every single one of them.
What?
that's really cool.
This Kieran's mane
Over
red.
table. Kai, that's basically think unicorn but lion.
Unicorn, but lion and lightning bolt. Essentially.
I didn't know about that last part.
the horn and the mane coming off of it, the horn is red. As you see, the mane has a white and red bleeding throughout it.
I see that the rumors of Rudolph's caribou status were very exaggerated.
I guess
Hmm.
that's. I mean, if you told a 6-year-old me that this was what Saint Nick was, I would be terrified. I see why they would change it for small ones.
Folks at home, this is a Christmas episode. Surprise!
Well, jingle my bells.
Buy me dinner first and then ask me.
What?
As Klaus, Klaus is walking around, you see him pointing to some of the elves and talking to them, as you see some of them using artificer magic to create toys. And also, you see the other half of the ship are creating weapons.
So you said you needed help with something, but from what I'm seeing, you've got a literal mobile army, and the Santa Claus. I know. This is a lot more.
As
You
you see
serious, Ellen?
this large man that is seemingly wider built than Morgal. Like, he's got muscles on top of this dude is stacked.
That's a fucking, like...
He's built like a barrel. But he's shorter than Morgal.
Oh, you're the string bean against Santa Claus there.
As he bends down, Leon Ardol,
Yes.
you've grown so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How did you enjoy that chemistry set that I got you all those years ago?
Oh, it was quite good. You know, there was this small thing that did happen, though. Bit of an explosion.
Oh, I know. I know well.
Oh, you did.
Glimmick didn't let you get away with that one, did he?
No.
I didn't think so. Crimson Blades. As jolly as my exterior may seem, my heart grows weary. I need your help. And I've been watching the good deeds that you all have been doing all across the realm.
Trying.
Yeah, mostly trying.
You made a few naughty choices here and there, But
How was I supposed to know that the Spider Queen would change all of reality?
that one did make me chuckle a bit, I would say.
In hindsight,
That's why I'm glad that I found the original Crimson Blades.
Original?
Never mind that for now.
Good.
Tiny.
Time
Yes,
zones are
let's go and move
strange.
past that.
Need your help. A friend of mine that I lost long ago has decided to do something that I never thought possible. You see, the holiday that everyone loves so greatly across these realms comes soon. And there is one particular item that I use on that day. And it has been stolen from me. And it was stolen by a good friend of mine. When I was young, and first starting my trade as a toy maker, I built a snowman,
Oh gosh.
and I imbued him with magic. And he was one of my very best friends. I named him Frost Klaus.
Frost Klaus.
No. Okay. You were a kid. I'll give you that.
Frost Klaus often liked to be nicknamed Frosty. However, my brother had an influence on him. And it seems as if that influence grew very unstable a few years back. Frosty donned a new name and overcome a twisted transition. He now goes by the moniker Frostclaw,
Ah.
the abominable snowman.
You know what that sounds like to me, boyos? We gotta go
What?
kill a Yeti.
I hope not.
Aren't Yetis mammals? How would... Never mind, magic does weird things. Look at me.
You all are not extremely wrong on your assumptions, but I'm afraid that Frostclaw is no Yeti.
Ah, damn.
He is a very well magically trained, alive snow person.
Of
Is it a
snow and
magical
exists by magic.
construct, or is it considered a magical golem, or is it?
Actually, it does beg the question: Is it a snow golem technically, or
I don't. It's
Technically,
semantics.
snowlem? As
Don't
it were?
golems have a set of instructions that they go off of?
Some do. It's
I-
it's the whole thing.
There
Don't worry
is
about
a
it.
lot of that's a massive gray area. Snow person is probably the thing we need to stick to and not look
Yes.
any deeper because we will fry our brains.
Right, let's leave the pronouns alone, shall we?
The item that I need returned to me is my key.
Your key.
Opens any door, sort of deal.
Opens every door.
Ah,
No,
You
not a
managed
matter
to
of
get
just
into No matter, you got into the cathedral. That's okay. Yeah.
Not a simple matter of recasting it, I presume.
Probably
No.
not.
There is only one in existence, and I have had it for, well, I don't like to age myself, let's say.
I was just gonna go with the word ever and leave it at that.
I like the way you think, my boy.
Thank you.
This key is also how I am able to allow Rudy over there to guide my sleigh. It opens portals as well.
Doors through space.
Doorways through different dimensions. This key is now in Frostclaw's hands, and he wishes to take over the entire holiday himself. He believes that he can do it better. He's also been working with my brother to accomplish these goals, but it seemed like he turned against him as well.
Is your
I'm
brother-
sure that
yeah.
you all have heard of my brother before.
I spent most of my time in a monastery. I don't know much.
Have you heard the tale of Krampus?
Shadow of Saint Nicholas.
Threatened with that frequently.
I think Moxie's mentioned that a time or two, but I don't know the details now.
Doesn't seem familiar.
My brother Krampus has his own realm in the Nine Hells.
Oh,
Makes. Mm-hmm.
Threatened often
Interesting.
with it at the orphanage before we left.
I need you all to get the key, stop Frostclaw, and return it to me before he has the chance to make things so much worse. He doesn't know what he's doing. Do you think Crimson Claws, the Crimson Claws, that sounds rather good, because you're helping good old Santa Claus.
shing. Got you covered.
Crimson Blades, will you help me save the holidays?
Who's going to say no to that?
I mean,
That.
what kind of monster says no to Santa?
Rokai kind of side eyes Moxie a little bit. I think we can. I think we're down. I think we can do that.
Man.
Good. As he grabs a snow globe, then tell me where you wish to begin your search.
Him would probably be the first question I would ask. Where did you last see him?
The last individual that I know that Frostclaw spoke to was my brother.
You have a brother.
Yes, Krampus.
Yes. Has his own
What he just
level in
said.
hell.
Wait,
Since
I crossed
when
a
did
wire.
you last-
I thought we
Yes,
were
you
looking
did.
for your. Yeah, I thought we were looking for your brother. My mistake.
No.
You're looking for the key.
Which
Looking for the
cross-
key.
Find the
which
key.
Frostclaw stole. Your brother might know where he is.
Correct.
Bippity-op-op.
Well,
I
it seems like
know
a good starting point. Put
That
us in hell.
that might be the best way to go about it.
Guess off to see your delightful brother we shall go.
Does that mean we're
If you
traveling
all
to?
need my assistance for anything, please do not hesitate to ask. As he presents Morgal with the snow globe.
Well, if
Got
we're
it.
going into the Nine Hells, we should probably have something to keep Asmodeus' eyes off of us, because I'd hate to have us interrupted helping you by a
He
need
did
to
kind
see
of
him.
want us there.
Asmodeus. He's always been a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Understatements. I like
He
them.
is permanently on the naughty list. As you
I-
see him whip out a scroll that just all across the ship, as you see at the top, there is a blurred out name, and then underneath it there is Asmodeus.
I take it that is reserved for a certain somebody we're dealing with later.
Oh, no, it's alphabetical. A-S. S is pretty far down. Probably an Alex or something.
Is it alphabetical?
How else would you do it?
Not
No,
the naughty
I'm
list.
asking.
Just the worst of the worst goes up top.
Oh, okay. So it is an
Oh.
order of crimes.
Well, if we put Aeon up there, it would still be alphabetical.
God damn.
Well, Crimson Blades. Shake this snow globe and throw it toward Rudy. And you'll be off on your first destination. If that's where you choose to go.
Fucking Morgul shakes it like a professional bartender and then just fucking yeets that bitch.
As you all see the snow globe go flying, you see Rudy, the Kirin, look up at the snow globe as he traces it right in front of him. You see his horn zap it. As it zaps, it appears back in Morgul's hand. As you see an explosion like a massive snowball as it starts swirling around you all, hurling you all through a portal filled with snow. As it is swirling around you all, as you're looking through this tunnel, you see all kinds of things that are passing by you. You actually see the pumpkin head of Samhain himself. You see a large, giant bunny rabbit. You see
What's
a
this?
massive turkey that is the size of a Tarrasque that goes around.
Wow.
The Turkrask! I've heard
What's
of it
this?
only in legend.
It's Birdzilla!
Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Leon's just kind of trying to push everyone further forward.
You don't
look
have
at
to
it.
push. We're all floating at the same pace.
Yes.
Oh god.
As you all see for a moment, within you see a beautiful woman that is also clad in red stop in the tunnel for a moment as she is floating with you all, and she says, "Oh, dearies, are you all quite ready for everything? I don't know if my husband was sure to feed you all or not. So do not worry. I stuffed your bags completely filled with rations of food, and I also, don't tell him, snuck in a few treats as well.
Oh, God,
Also,
Mrs. Claus.
for you, Rokai, you will find that there's a nice chewy bone in there as well. I do believe it is a thigh bone. And
I don't know who
for,
you are, but I love you.
for the rest of you, I snuck in a candy cane as well. So, do not dawdle. Be on your way. As she twiddles her nose, you see her disappear as you all are thrown out of the portal. And you roll across. You feel the heat immerse onto you as you open your eyes. The soot-filled caverns start to open to you. As you look, you are in the realm of Krampus. As you see a twisting tower that is spiraling up, you see a large flaming eye at the top of it as it's darting around.
Oh,
It
great.
looks directly at you.
I didn't realize that that's what the 5 golden rings we're talking about. Anyway.
What's this?
I'm glad you got the reference. Thank you. As
Or
it
calling
closes, you see it just rest Around you all, you see twisted versions of Christmas. You see candy canes, but they are bone and flesh that are twisted and contorted. As you see people that are hung on upside down crosses all over the place. You see trees that are aloft that are screaming in agony. The trees are just wailing and moaning as from dangling from each branch, you see that there are cages where children are locked inside as they are soullessly looking around. You see that they have been beaten, what looks like with some kind of lash across them. You see the life almost drained from them as well.
I'm trying very, very hard not to bust out a parody of What's This, matching all of what you're saying.
Well,
You see
this
that
is accurate.
along the ground that you all are walking on, you see hot coals that are surrounding you all across. And within these hot coals, you see retching hands that are trying to reach out almost for help to you all.
I'll say this. He got the aesthetic down pat.
Yeah, he does.
What do you do?
I fish out the thigh bone from my backpack and say, just think of the nice lady who smelled like hot chocolate, and let's go inside.
She
hot
also smelled
coals-
like gingerbread.
Of course she did.
That was
Of
Fräulein
course.
Klaus. That was
I prefer the
Mr.
chocolate
Nick.
to the ginger.
on the subject of the hot coals,
you
tread
have ginger?
lightly.
What, me? I
Yeah,
don't know.
you.
I just don't like the taste.
Oh, okay.
I know I can't have chocolate, or at least theoretically.
We never really tested it, but I don't really think we should. Anyway, to the building.
Yes.
A haunting we will go, it seems.
Morgul is trying to distract himself from the fucking tortured children in any way he can, and he's deflecting with comedy.
I mean,
Rokai's
Moxie
lightly
clearly-
gnawing on the thigh bone twice every now and then, but not really all that interested in it.
Just so you know, it's not like they are here by accident or unjustly.
Let me just say that
Knowledge
kids at
of the
orphanage
truth
were
does
often-
not stop foreboding.
Let me just say, kids at the orphanage were often threatened with Krampus, and kids did go missing during the holiday season, whether by his fault or elsewise.
I'm
So
familiar
this is
with
a
that.
little traumatic for Morgul.
Well, we are neither children, nor, I believe, are we currently on the naughty list, so I think we might get away with saying hi.
Probably.
Yes, but we should still not piss him off.
Of course, which means I should not be doing the talking.
No, you should not. She's
So,
avoiding
are
hands
you
left
all-
and
Good
right.
boy should do the talking.
We're going up to
So,
the door
are
and
you
talking
all-
the whole time.
As you all start walking up toward the citadel, you see that the walls of this cavernous place start to crawl. As you see what looks like spindly creatures that have bodies of coal start to grasp and wind themselves down as they turn their heads and look at you.
Is the building coming towards us, or are things coming off of the building?
Things are coming off the building.
Okay.
Here to
Leon
see your
waves
master.
at them.
As you
And
see
just
them
continues.
jump down in front of you, you see these smaller creatures that have elvish ears as they are twisted up into curled points. You see the
Oh.
fiery hot coals in their eyes and a jack-o'-lantern-esque smile. As they open their mouths, you just see hot embers that engulf them. As you see their tiny claws that are rattling on the ground as they... Who are you?
I touch the badge on my chest and invoke heroism in myself, then walk up, tail wagging with the big smile and say, "Hi, I'm Rokai. I'm a good boy. Is Krampus in?"
You've been sent here to see him.
They want to see the boss. You hear them all saying, they want to see the boss, they want to see the boss, they want to see the boss.
His brother sent us.
We just tell you about speaking.
That's actually probably the best thing he said
That's
about.
probably the best thing that we could have said.
Possibly.
Because elsewise, they probably wouldn't have taken us seriously.
The Klaus is not here, is he?
No.
No.
No, not personally.
The Klaus isn't here, the Klaus isn't here, the Klaus isn't here.
But I think he's watching. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
He has.
And we
no
are here on his
jurisdiction
behalf. So be good, for goodness sake.
here.
No.
Take them to the boss. As you all see forming behind you all. What looks like a lava golem has formed behind you.
You're a crispy
Really?
marshmallow.
Wonderfully fun.
Yes, we're gonna go. Thank you.
All right, toast of Christmas past. We're going. We're going.
I know Rokai probably seems drunk at this point, but I had to throw in that Frozen reference. Roasted marshmallow.
It's actually a play on marshmallow.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why you heard the
Crispy.
oh,
It's all. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So
And about
as-
this point, heroism wears off on Rokai. He realizes what he said. It's like, oh god.
You did good, Rokai. You did real good.
Thanks.
as you see these elves made of coal that are crawling across the walls, guiding you all up, almost like candlelight, all the way up to the top.
Morgul, is it a bad thing when this sort of thing is starting to become less scary?
I think we've just become numb to this.
Speak
In
for
all
yourselves.
Hell does have
It's
its
kind of
charms.
a newer experience for you,
Oh,
Rokai.
don't worry. I mean,
I
I'm
will
still
say
very
this.
terrified.
The shock of arrival was more intense than anything that's actually happening. 'Cause it just fits the theme.
Knock on wood.
As you all
Well,
Go
charcoal
up.
suffice. That's all that's here.
Yeah.
as you all are going up the spiral staircase, hanging in perpetual motion and being wretched up and down as their skin is pulled apart, you see both man, woman, child, people that are chained as their skin is being pulled taut with these chains
Okay,
as
never
they
mind.
almost like the sound of wind chimes. Their screams rattle like jingle bells.
This is
Yep, I
feeling
spoke
a-
too soon.
This is feeling a lot like a certain dragon's lair at this point.
I now have to ask whether the child is actually here, or if he's just a manifestation for the torture of those around him. If it is a child, what did they do? Curious.
As you all come up to these doors that are in the form of a horned, fanged beast, the coal elves rattle on the door as it opens, as you see flames surrounding this throne room, as you see sitting in a chair that is made from bones curling upward, you see a hooded creature with horns that are bigger than any that you have seen, that are twisted and curled and gnarled up and withered with age. As you just see the black, as you just see the black of the hood, and you see what looks like straggly white, muddled gray beard strands coming from the darkness of the inside of the cowl as you see its hooved feet firmly in place, one overlapping the other, as you see his long finger claws rattling against the chair.
They are here to see you, master. They say that the Klaus brings them.
As you see him wave his fingers, they skitter across up to the ceiling and embed themselves like shingles or tiles. As this voidless face looks at you all, what do you do?
Have you seen a particular frost person of late?
Perhaps a greeting before a request,
Nah.
Moxie.
You feel your mouth start to sear as he lifts a finger. You feel your lips starting almost to melt together.
Oh.
As he releases your mouth, you feel the pain subside.
Thank you for receiving us, O great host, Krampus. We are here on behalf of, well, just seeking information, which if you could provide, we will gladly no longer darken your doorstep. Anyone?
That's more than I would have been able to say. I'm not quite sure.
Gute Nacht. Krampus.
Greetings. We are the.
Who sends you?
Oh, you know.
The
Big
one
guy there.
called Klaus.
And what is it that my brother wishes to know?
Right, you last have seen Frostclaw, Your Grace.
Frostclaw.
Yeah, you know. Big, snowy boy. Usually has a fucking corncob pipe, from what I hear.
You wish to have information about his whereabouts.
If you would be so generous.
As he waves his fingers, you see dance across the ground as they start to take shape into human bodies and what looks like a village.
If you wish to have this information, you must help me with something first.
Request.
As you well know, we devils love to make
Deals.
deals.
Contracts are your bread and butter.
There's a reason that I possess my own level in the nine hells.
I mean,
The unspoken level.
We will hear your proposal.
Good. Because because you're in my realm now. I didn't expect that you would come and not be willing to strike a bargain.
As you almost hear with every word the snap and crackle of bone, jaw, and teeth.
Before you, in the flames, is a village. Within this village, there are 3 souls that are on my list.
Children.
I don't just punish children,
Yeah, you
though
finished.
I primarily deal in getting rid of problematic children before they reach adulthood.
I can see the necessity, but I don't think we can agree to hunt children.
You don't have a choice right now. You wish information. It is my time of the year to begin my harvest. It will happen with or without you. I only need you choose which 3 out of this village you believe to be the ones that I will take.
We have to play detective?
He's
No.
You get to
judging.
play my game.
It's also gauging our judge of character.
Oh, fun.
It is going to be traumatizing.
Oh, yes. Morgul and I are going to have one hell of a time here.
No joke.
Oh boy.
I think
Let
between
me
us...
be perfectly clear. The 3 children that I am to take, they have done terrible things. Do not take them to be cute. Do not take them to be innocent. I know that I am a monster, but this monster has been doing this for a very long time and has saved you from a great many horrors before. Some of them change their ways before I get to them and escape my grasp.
I understand that you can be a monster without being a villain, and that you are a monster that serves a greater purpose. And we are here for a favor. We accept your terms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one question to ask if you will indulge me.
What is it, Leon?
What if these 3 children should happen to escape your grasp?
In what way?
Should they somehow redeem themselves?
Should they redeem themselves, then they will be spared. If they are unable, then they will be coming with me.
Understandable.
Okay. Well,
Might as well dust off my acolyte's robes at this point. Might feel more comfortable.
no time like the present. We can discuss this more once we are out of his presence.
Yep.
Waste no more of your time.
You see, Rokai, that's the funny thing. None of you have ever been out of my presence.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
My brother knows when you're naughty or nice. I see your true heart.
Well, that's actually reassuring.
Each of you has narrowly escaped me before.
You hearken back to when you were children, being afraid at nighttime around this time of year, and seeing what looked like a shadow creeping across the wall as it grasped its hands and its horns curled, as you felt a spine-chilling sensation run through your body. You remember seeing these shadows out of the corner of your eye, always watching, always judging your every move around this time, and feeling so very terrified of what might happen if you were to close your eyes. Looking into the void that is just his cowl, you see nothing except hear that grinding and his voice.
How should
I'm
we begin?
glad that you asked, Rokai. We begin in the present.
As he moves his fingers, you all are in flames. You are now in a village, and behind you, you see Krampus standing 13 feet tall as he is standing off of his throne now.
Yeah, tall boy.
Did he say in the
Hunched,
present?
hunched over, as you can now tell that his robes seem to be a mirrored reflection of his brother's. That joyous red and white that Klaus wears so proudly has faded and dinged and molded over time.
Rough.
Snow covers the ground around you. As you look toward a sign, you actually see that you are in Timbervale.
Wow.
Trauma come back to haunt. Lovely. Okay.
Oh.
Always comes
The snow covers the cobblestone that you remember so fondly, but you realize looking at some of the buildings that they are clad in gold.
okay.
Still have.
Definitely the present.
Looking around, you see that there are not a lot of people that are out and about. The hustle and bustle, the bartering, the trading, that smell of fresh apple pies and cinnamon and maple syrup that once filled the air is no longer here anymore.
Can't chalk it up to the chill keeping people indoors. We'd still smell things.
Mm-hmm.
As you all look up toward the grand tree of Timbervale, you see that it too is clad in gold.
Still
As
live
you
here.
see that it has been fashioned into a throne. As you see different parts of the bottom of the throne, as you all walk through the village and you come closer to where you can see the throne slightly looking behind a building, you see that that throne is made of people that are stacked on top of each other, frozen in gold.
Wish I could say I'm surprised.
Can we do just a quick BRB? Thane needs to get something for his throat.
We'll be right back, folks.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Ho, ho, ho!
I hope that you haven't been naughty.
Krampus is going to make you pick your switch.
Well,
So, as you all look around, you do notice that Midas is not on his throne. As
Okay.
you see that from the houses, there is candlelight. You hear what sounds like a pebble or a rock that is being hurled into a window.
well, that's not very
Maybe
nice.
that's why we need to go investigate.
Investigate!
Let's go see what that was.
Off we go.
Into the snowy cold yonder.
There's on the snow. I like snow.
You all come up to a darkened alleyway. What do you do?
So you
You
kind
can
of
tell that this is maybe where the source of the noise came from.
It's gonna kind of peer in slowly so as not to say scare the hell out of anybody. What does she see?
You see a small child, maybe around the age of 12, that is sitting there feeling the weight of another rock as he hurls it, shattering a window.
Well,
You know, I have a good idea for how to get this kid to behave.
you really? Well, I'm all for
Moxie,
ears.
Moxie
why I
looks
asked earlier.
into the alleyway and I suppose kind of makes the attempt to look kind of like Krampus in shadow and says, "What you doing there, kiddo?"
Who's there?
One
Who
older
said
than you.
that?
Random stranger. No, seriously, why are you breaking people's windows? It's cold.
Thought that I just heard something. As he starts to walk over to where you all are. Who said that?
He's pulling a fucking ghost of Christmas present on us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
We could
You
start
harming
singing.
others this year.
We could start
Season.
singing like ominous candlelights hymns at them until they behave. Just scare the fuck out of them.
You all feel your spines heating up as you inadvertently and without your own willpower start to turn to face Krampus as he says,
You are here merely in spirit.
How did I know he was gonna
That
face
makes
way?
sense. Okay then. Alright then.
Wow.
But he can hear us.
Sometimes those that are open to hearing the dead can
Interesting.
hear them.
What
Ah,
about thaumaturgy?
No, let's not.
No.
I
Something
was just
tells me
going
that
to
would be
suggest
breaking
Mick
rules.
I was just going to suggest Mick say something along the lines of, "Naughty children should not be out alone."
just bass
We
boost
also
God
did-
rest ye merry gentlemen behind it. Okay.
I mean,
No,
otherwise,
this
I can't
is-
figure out how to interact with the.
I mean, yeah.
Or are we just supposed to watch and judge?
I think we're
Probably
supposed
that.
to watch and judge,
And decide.
and then try and figure out who is meant to be on this list.
you all see this kid go inside of the window. He climbs into the window of what he just broke.
Ooh, I
What do you
follow.
do?
Since we're here in spirit, I follow.
Just through the
You
Follow.
wall.
see,
It's not
You
breaking
see
and
it-
entering.
No.
you see a sleeping family there as the kid quietly goes around and starts rummaging through. You see him grab a small bag of coin as he tucks it away.
That's not yours.
As he grabs a loaf of bread and he puts it into his knapsack. As he
Thaumaturgy,
grabs two
that's
apples.
not yours.
Okay, thaumaturgy didn't work.
Wait and see what he's doing. He's stolen money and he's stolen food.
Because he's hungry.
Let's see how the rest of this plays out. Just because he's breaking windows and stealing things doesn't necessarily
see
mean
him
he's a terrible person.
Look under a little girl's bed as he finds a small box. As he opens it, you see one necklace. It doesn't seem like it's made of very much. Maybe silver, some crude gold, and one little stone that is embedded into it. As he takes it from the box,
I invoke a spell slot for command and tell him, stop!
as he puts down the box and slides it under, and goes out the window
See what
and
you're
into the
doing now.
cold. What do you do?
Follow.
See which way he's going. See if we.
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, yeah, I'm following.
I'm
As
just
you
straight
all-
following quietly.
As you all follow, you see him go to another alleyway. And at the end of this alleyway, you see a light. As you get closer, you see that it is a small fire. Around the child, you see a couple of cots. Tucked into one of the cots, you see a small girl. To the other side, you see what looks like a mother that has had a little too much, as she has a couple of bottles of mead that are right beside her. As the boy kneels down and he puts the bread and the other pieces of food out, and he goes over to the mother, he tosses the coin on her. As he sits down and breaks off a piece of the bread and starts to eat it, he sits there and looks at the necklace.
You didn't have to take that.
He looks over to what he assumes, what you all can assume is his mother. Eyeballs the necklace. And he looks around and he tucks it back in.
I'll turn to Krampus. So why are we here? To judge him for stealing to feed his family? Or to judge the woman sleeping there for not providing for her?
I think this is far from over, Rokai. You are a little too overzealous for this to be done.
Did you notice one thing that happened in these events?
The family didn't wake when the windows broke. Were those people even alive?
Big question. We didn't see them stir. We also didn't necessarily see them breathing. He broke into what is essentially an abandoned home, stole what was left to feed the people that were still living.
That's what I'm asking the DM. Were they moving in any sort of way?
This family was alive. There was one thing that the child did that is a judge of his character.
He took something he didn't need.
But what is the catalyst to set off a chain of events? There was one moment.
He threw the
What
rock.
was this moment?
Speaking quite literally, he threw the rock, but I have a funny feeling that's not what he meant.
No.
I remember what this town was like before the dragon came. It's a very different place.
What did the child do in the last moments before you spoke to me?
He was holding the necklace, looked at his assumably passed out mother, and then put the necklace away.
He might have
He
gotten it.
contemplated,
Handing it over.
or
I think
worse,
he either was considering choking his mother with the necklace, which doesn't make much sense, or he was contemplating giving it to her as a gift and then kept it because, if I were to assume, in the shoes of a child, he deemed her not worthy. Or he wanted it for himself.
Or for the little
Less
girl
sense.
that
here's
was huddled
here's
next to the mother.
she's a drunkard.
Yes, but the small
Wastes their
child.
money.
I know, I'm saying the small child next to the mother. Maybe he kept it for her.
I feel like a lot of this is based off assumption.
A lot of
That's
this is
what I'm
speculation.
saying.
We have no evidence of any of it.
Could just as easily fence it off to somebody in the next day or two, get some bread for his sister and him. I feel like you're trying to make us a little too subjective, Krampus.
You said we're starting the story in the present. There's more to this, isn't there?
Would you like to see more?
Yes.
Please.
If you would be
What
so
would
kind.
you like to see?
You say everything starts somewhere. Let's see the past. What led to this?
Very well.
As he waves his fingers, as you all are immersed into flames, the soot and the embers dissipate as you all are in a lively timber vale, the way you remember it. As you see a younger child that is playing. You see a fireball hurled into town, comprised of gold. As it starts to roll around, people are crushed underneath its wake.
I have a feeling I know exactly when we are.
As a
Seeing where
large
when this is, yep.
winged creature slams down into the tree as it curls itself around and looks at the town. Citizens of Timbervale, my name is King Midas. Everything that I touch, as he starts tapping people with his talons as they start turning to gold, turns to gold. I've been given this lovely piece of land as a gift from your Lord and Savior. Now listen up. You're to bring me everything that you have.
And if you don't have anything, I will know. And when I find out that you're poor and you have nothing, I'll sit on your bones. I'm gonna turn this place into something beautiful. Somewhere where you can be proud. Where you can thrive.
Oh, my mercy.
As you see him spill out molten gold from his mouth onto different things, a wave of it comes crashing down as you see the child that you all have been following so far run down an alleyway. As you see him say to his little brother, "Come with me. Come with me." "Philip, what are you doing? Philip!" As you see Philip sit there and pick up a rock. As his back is turned to this wave of molten gold, you see bottles that are laid out as the kid is playing a game and doesn't hear his brother. As the wave of gold rolls over the young boy and continues forward. The child is safe. The other one. As he falls to his knees. As you see him just stare at the gold. We roll forward a little bit as Krampus waves a finger. And you see the child standing there in a crowd of people that are bringing things to Midas. As you all look into his eyes, you see a glint of greed. As he looks around, he starts pickpocketing from people. You see him take loaves of bread and bring it to the rest of his family, as the child keeps others of those trinkets.
And it's not just greed he's doing. Or it is more than greed. It's depriving everyone he's stealing from. Some of those,
He's
what he
making sure.
took might be what they were going to offer for their protection.
He's making sure his family's not the ones at the bottom.
Or at least himself.
At the very least, himself.
You see another child coming towards him. "Hey, Rudy. What are you doing?" "Nothing. I was just checking out what King Midas was doing." "Where you going?" "I'm going to bring my family's offering so that we're safe."
Yep, there it is.
"Really? Well, what do
Yep.
you got?"
You don't need to know that.
"All right. We've got these rings from my grandmother. You want to play a game?"
Oh,
"What
Proceed.
game?" "We're going to play a game of tossing rocks." As you see the boy go into the alleyway, what do you do?
Oxy's not gonna not follow.
Argal knows where this is going. He doesn't need to follow.
Krampus holds you all for a moment as he turns you around.
Have you seen enough?
I have.
I've seen a spark of greed.
Well, what do you choose?
I'll
Or
let
do
the
you
rest
wish
take the reservation.
to see more?
Would you have us watch all this and not intervene?
Yes.
Ha, we can't change it.
This is something, Rokai, that I don't know if you are familiar with yet. But you are akin to the concept free will.
We cannot go and tell others how to live their lives.
The concept of free will gives everyone reign over their own choices that they make. Some have already made their bed, while others just don't know how to fold the sheets.
Can he see?
See what?
What will happen if he continues down this path? It does no good to anyone letting us see and us decide. You've already decided. The only effect we could have is possibly convincing you to let him see and exercise his free will with knowledge.
Convince me. Your proposal.
I'm going to give you all a moment to talk amongst yourselves to see how you want to pitch this to Krampus. Because
I
you
mean-
also have to remember that he is a devil.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, this is only the first of 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or individuals. Perhaps not technically children.
He deals mainly with children. Is what he was
Mainly.
saying.
Yes. He's a preventative measure.
Yeah.
So the simple
I
thought
will
is
give you one choice. You may pitch to me your offer on this one soul, or see the other 2 and pitch at that point.
time to think would be better. Yes.
Seeing the full spectrum yields better information overall anyway.
The next candidate that we have is Little Miss Elizabeth Morton. Would you like to see her past,
Probably best place to
present,
start.
or future?
You know, we haven't gone into the future with any of these kids yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen
Sure
what
first.
comes of this guy, but I see a bad path all the same. Past,
Zero
present.
future first.
Where do you wish to go?
Moxie says future. Anyone else? I have
say
no strong
future.
opinion. Silence from everyone else. I guess
I'm
future
just
it
trying
is.
to think, so
I
yes, future.
said future, for what it's worth.
Yeah, no. We got Micknick's
Yeah.
forehead and Leon being silent.
I was just going over the pros and cons of each.
Very well.
Not really much of a pros and cons when we don't have any information on this one.
As he waves his hand, you all are taken into what looks like an asylum. As you see a girl age 15 in chains, hair disheveled, scratches down her eyes.
This is Lizzie.
Yes. As she is locked behind bars
And just kind of walk
in
through.
solitary confinement.
Whatever she did, she's been confined and appears to be serving judgment for her crimes. I cannot say that this is a bad outcome.
Is it
Is this a
clear that
mental
this
asylum?
is? I was going to say you say things like institution. This is not a prison. Not
This
not that
is
kind.
an institution for the insane.
How did she come to be here?
We could always see if she'll answer if we ask.
If she's attuned to, as he said.
Moxie's gonna kind of just walk through the wall.
Walk in.
You do.
Little Lizzie.
Not
Miss
so little.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
I think that's a no.
No. She's watching you and pointedly ignoring the question, but that's beside the point.
She
Do you
hears
hear?
nothing.
The way you're scanning the room, it looked like you were avoiding eyesight.
Mm-hmm. I got that too, so thanks for clarifying.
She's just looking at the ground and everything because she has
Mhm.
nothing else to look at.
Is there anything else going on outside of her cell?
People around?
Yeah.
Observers?
There's a couple of guards.
I wonder if we listen in, they might be talking about what she did.
Possibility.
You see that they're playing cards. What do you do?
Eavesdrop.
So did you hear what this lasted? It's my first day on the job.
How convenient.
Well, I heard she murdered entire family.
I knew that's over table. I knew that sounded familiar.
Probably Lizzie Borden. But
Yes.
yeah.
That's oh my. Okay, sorry.
That's what I heard. Do you think she actually did it? You know. That's why she's in here, isn't she?
But why?
You see the crazy look in her eye. I reckon that girl's a stone cold murderer.
Why, though? Where did she go wrong?
For that, we'll need to see her past.
Or her
Yeah.
present.
Or where she
Present
is.
will go and give us what's going on now. The past will tell us the very beginning.
Past or present?
I think the past.
Hold on.
Gotta go back.
Present.
Back to the past.
Present would give us a good idea, I think, where she's heading.
It would give us where she's heading, yes.
Well,
Because if we go back to the beginning, we might not actually learn anything.
Because we're half and half right now, so Nick, past or present.
I guess we'll do present.
Alright, there we go. Nick.
Because this is where she ends up. And she's
Very well.
very young.
Lizzie's present.
As the room shifts and changes, you are in a home. Very well-to-do home. Not rich, but definitely not poor. As you see a mother and a father arguing, you see uh, Lizzie just trying to read a book as she's hearing them from what seems like the living quarters. I told you that we had to make the payment to Midas. What did you do? I did just that, honey. I've gotten us a better standing with him.
Better
That
stand.
was all of my mother's antiques.
Mm.
Those were the last things that I had from her before she died. And guess what, dear? We're going to live because of it. Don't sit here and try and tell me that I made a bad decision for our family. Our little girl's actually going to be able to live. You and I are going to be able to continue to go out and breathe. Did you see that the Livingstons are in his throne now? All because she didn't want to part with her mother's precious necklace. Cost them their lives. So you try and tell me who made the bad decision there?
Keeping an eye on Lizzie.
You see her gripping the book.
Rage.
I
Does she look to
hate
be?
you, Thomas. I hate you. As you see the mother start to walk off toward the left side of the living quarters as the father turns his back, as he looks like he's scanning a bookshelf trying to find something to read. You see the mother look up toward the wall as you see an axe mounted to the wall. As the mother grabs the axe,
Take us away from here before something irreversible happens.
the mother flips the axe in her hands. As she goes over to her husband, embeds it directly into his skull.
That's a bit much.
As she lets go of the axe, her husband turns around.
Or
As he falls onto the couch, you see Lizzie go in. Mother, what are you doing? No! As you see the mom, panicked, she takes the axe out. He ruined our family's lineage. Everything that I had from my mother. He gave to Midas. So you killed Papa? As you see tears streaming down Lizzie's face. We're going to tell no one of this, Lizzie, okay? We're going to tell no one of this. All right, darling? As she puts the axe lazily on the mantle, as she bends down to try and move her husband, you see the arm of her husband knock against the mantle as the axe comes down and it beds itself into the mother's head. As Lizzie lets out a scream, the police come in and see a gruesome murder scene around them. And the only one that they have to blame
Poor little Lizzie.
is little Lizzie.
She did nothing wrong.
She's in an institution because she's very clearly traumatized.
Obviously.
And she didn't do this.
Nope.
Why should she be punished?
Scapegoats are a very real thing, Rokai.
By him.
She shouldn't. This was a test.
That's what this is a test.
She did nothing to deserve
Do
punishment.
you have a judgment?
Lizzie's innocent.
This child is
Next.
innocent.
She doesn't deserve it.
I'd like to see the past, please. This seems too perfect a situation.
You do have a point.
Yeah.
That did seem, just looking with your opinion now, that does seem just a wee bit like an illusion almost.
No, I'm afraid this is something else. Young mages, wizards, sorcerers, when extremely stressed, can have spells
Happen.
react. It may have been unintentional, may have been intentional. I don't know.
Then I guess we should see the past, see if anything changes our verdict.
Fine.
We should.
Very well.
As you all go back, you see a younger Lizzie who is very into her books.
Leon's
she-
gonna look and see what type of books.
The Travels of Ferrith Finway.
Interesting.
Adventure.
As you see her smiling as she reads. As you see the father come in. What are you reading? Ferrith Finway. It's a good book. You know that was one of your mother's favorites. You're so much like her. I'm nothing like her. I will never be.
Oh my.
Plot thickens.
I see a psychological twist here.
Very good, dear. Would you like to go out into town later? Maybe we can buy you a new book. That would be lovely.
They're speaking of her mother in the past tense.
That was the
least
stepmother
in-
that died earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So who was her mother then? That
As you
she's-
see the young girl go out to a grave as she starts reading passages from Ferris Finway.
And who is this on the grave?
The mother. As you hear a voice, shrill and shrewd, calling Lizzie back. You see the woman that murdered her husband standing there. Get over here, Lizzie. Now!
She
Yeah, I
weren't
don't
already
see-
dead. I'd want her dead.
Yeah, I don't see where we're getting anything from here for this, Leon.
Oh
personally.
no, I think
I
on
think
the
Leon
contrary,
had a
I
good
think
point,
Leon's on the right track.
because when we saw the present, it looked like happy family gone wrong, Now it looks like
I
really
could,
horrendous step-parent plus psychological trauma.
This
I
doesn't
could,
prove anything as to this kid's innocence.
I could see a situation where a traumatized magic user unknowingly puppeteers someone into being a villain. We have no proof of that, but I can see it. The motivation is there.
Do you wish to come to a verdict or see more?
I don't care if they're squeamish. Let's see a little bit more, because I don't think we've got everything connected yet.
As the young girl comes over to the woman, she slaps the young girl. I told you not to come here ever again. I'm your new mother now.
Oh, bitch.
She's dead. What is this trash that you are reading? My mother would never allow me to have read something so terrible. You will be like me.
Uneducated and a gold digger?
As you hear under Lizzie's breath, never be anything like you.
She was talking about this mother, not the one in the.
You're going to be late to school. You know that your father doesn't want you to be late. You're failing in all of your classes. Come, let's go. As you see her being taken to a magic school.
There we go.
As you see her sitting in class while everyone is trying to levitate some things, you see that Lizzie cannot. At all.
There's more than one way to do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but at wizarding academies like this, they have prescribed motum, and often they're very expensive.
She might not be physical magic, but that doesn't rule out mental. I
You
have
see
an
her
Psionics.
come home. As the father sits with her, you finally see what clears up in the living quarters. You see that he is a very well-to-do magic user. Lizzie, why are you failing in all of your classes? I can't do it, Daddy. I don't have magic. Then you will learn. We'll train harder.
pressure.
We'll train more.
Oh,
Pressure
the
leads to
pressures of
anger.
parenting.
Pressure leads to
Isn't
anger.
on
Anger leads to
her.
hate.
We're wasting time.
Fear. I agree with you, Morgul, but have we got the head chat going?
No, but I can bring it up.
Yes, I think that would be useful here.
All right. I will spend a spell slot for that.
We are going to be able, at the end of this, we're going to be able to have an idea that I'm developing, but we still need to see more. We still have the third child. I agree with Morgul so far. But how do we present this? That's where I'm struggling. I think we need more
Yeah.
time to think, and we need to see more. For that matter, we don't know what happened to the first kid. Rudy.
We
Yeah,
didn't see his
things in
future. We saw his present and we saw his past. We have not seen where he goes in the future. We've seen Lizzie, past, present, and future. And we have an idea as to what we want to say about her.
What is the name on the gravestone? I did look earlier. You just said her.
Abigail.
Okay.
Abigail Morton.
Have you made a decision?
We're still working on it. We never saw what became of the first child, and we still haven't seen the last.
Which would you like to see?
I think we should finish up with Rudy before moving on.
Agreed.
I doubt it will take long.
What do the rest of you think?
With the
I
first
think it'd be
child and
wise
see his
to
future.
finish.
Mogul Miknik.
I already said agreed.
Yeah.
Good.
As he waves his claws, you see Rudy. Step on up, everyone. Come on in, come on in. As you can see, I sell a great multitude of things. I can sell you anything that'll heal you. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? As you see a
great.
crowd gathered
Nicholas
around him.
salesman.
Mercy.
For a second there, I thought he was working at the like.
My mother has a great illness. She's dying right now. Both of her limbs were lost in Midas's rage. What do you have? 2 drops of this in her morning tea. She'll be right as rain tomorrow. She'll be right as rain. How much? That'll be 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's
I can't afford that. I can't. Well, there, dear boy. Do you want to save your mother? You see around his neck, he still wears the necklace that he took that very day. You could always try and win it if you like. How can I win it? You just gotta play one simple game. You gotta knock down these bottles with this rock. As you see the man throw the rock, as it hits one of the bottles and the others don't move. Oh! So sorry, but you also did just break one of my bottles, so I'm going to have to charge you a surplus, my dear. Those are expensive bottles. They're imported from Therathon. That's going to be an additional 2 silver, I'm afraid. Will you be paying now or tomorrow?
You hear in the head chat, I think I've seen enough for this brat.
Yeah.
This one's on the list, for certain.
Well, I wouldn't say that for sure yet. Maybe things could change.
Leon!
Leon, let's not fucking mince words here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just
This is absolutely
saying for the-
horrendous.
He's a con man, a snake salesman.
I wanted to give this kid the benefit of the doubt, but no. This ain't flying.
I can see where his childhood trauma is still going on because he's trying to cope with it, but that does not mean that he is doing anything to make it better.
I have an idea.
Oh, do tell.
I'm still working on it. I think What we pitch to him should be that we can say one thing to each of them, one sentence to carry and use as they will. We take no action. We have no further influence. We just give them a thought.
I like that.
Let us see the third child, though.
To the third we shall go, but past, present, or future first.
Mikhail Fizgig.
Now that's a gnomish name if
That
I've ever
is
heard one.
a very gnomish name.
My mercy. Alright. Like I said, past, present, or future.
Pass.
What'll it be?
It's
Pass.
So we
no
go
order.
from the beginning.
Alright. From the past we shall go.
You see a young gnomish lad that is watching Midas's coming. As you see the boy look up in awe and terror at the same time. As you see bits and pieces of debris flying in front of him, he's unfazed. As bodies seem to fall around him, he is unfazed. As his mother calls for him to come inside, she has to drag him away from the gaze that he has upon Midas. What were you doing, Mikhail? Get in here. We need to run. We need to hide. He doesn't mean us any harm. Mother, all that we have to do, he said, for our protection, is to just give him things. I have things I can give him.
Aww.
I have 15 bronze. If I give him that, he'll spare us. That's good, Mikhail. Get into the cellar. We'll talk about this soon. As you see him rummage through his things and get the bronze, he goes down there. What do you do?
Let's
Stay
see
up
what
to listen.
happens.
Are you going to stay here? Are you going down there? What are you doing?
Follow.
Leon wants to see what's going on upstairs.
I will follow and see what can be heard down there.
I'm going to stay up here with Leon to see what the mother does. At this point, it's not exactly stupid to split the party, because, you know.
You'll see what happened up here. We'll see what he experienced.
You see that she is just a single mother. Primarily for one reason. You see her rush out into the street as lying on the street covered in gold is her husband. Mikhail did not see what happened to his father while he was watching Midas. As you see the woman break down and cry.
Yes, that woman. Have you anything to give to the great King Man?
Kill the fucking dragon.
Yeah.
You hear her yell out to him, "You killed my husband."
Oh dear. I'm so sorry. All that's gilded is gold. Let's see how your husband fared, shall we?
As you see him grab, as she is trying to hold on, as she goes up, she lets go. She loses her grip as she falls down onto the ground, scraping her knee.
It doesn't look like he had very much in him, did he? What was he trying to do? Why did he roll into my lovely gold?
He was trying to get my child inside, away from you.
Doesn't look like he did a very good job, does it now?
As you see him attach him to the tree.
Like some kind of obscene butcher bird almost in the way he does this.
Oh,
So I ask you again, what have you for me?
Morgul, would you like to make a list with me?
Don't forget-
You say.
Don't forget, he is a member of the Court of Cinders. He is already on our list.
Yes.
We're just making a separate list of
Oh,
their
okay.
own.
This isn't. I'm not going. I want to be able to plead ignorance to that. I will ask no more questions.
As you all hear downstairs with the boy, who stayed down with the boy?
Yep.
It
You
was me
all
and Leon who
hear-
stayed upstairs.
What, baby? What'd you say?
I was just
I
meaning
thought
a
you did.
list atrocities.
Yeah.
You
Things
hear
to
the
remember.
boy. All I gotta do is just give him this, and mommy and daddy will be safe. I can
Oh,
do
boy.
that. I also have a teddy bear. It's pretty much all I have.
I admire his spirit, but it would never be enough.
But he was beautiful, wasn't he?
He
Like
is
a
tricky
golden angel.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, this poor child.
This is not the message he should take with him.
Mm-mm.
Have you made a choice?
Not yet. Send us to the present.
Please.
You see Mikhail, age 16. As he is going up to his mother. Mikhail, did you drop out of school? Yes, I did. Why? It's not what I want to do. I have different desires now. Ones that are going to keep you safe. I know the sacrifice that Father made. And trust me, I'm going to make him proud. Well, what are you going to do instead of going to school today? I'm going to make you proud, Mother.
Pride is a dangerous thing.
As he goes out, you see some other teenagers coming up to him. Mikhail, where are you going? I have an idea. I would like for you all
since you're some of my best friends,
Oh no.
I
to
sense
come
bad
with
Got a
me.
things.
pyramid scheme.
I sense bad things.
Always bad things. Just keep watching.
Do each of you have something in your lives, your family's lives, that are holding you back?
Oh no, it's even worse.
Are you poor? Are you hungry? As you see more kids that are surrounding him.
Oh no.
Which of you are hungry? As you see kids raising their hands. Which of you have nothing to your name? Good. Then instead of going to school and wasting your time, who wants to make a difference with me? As you see all of the kids raising their hands, then let's go change the world, shall we?
Oh, this looks like a cult.
Oh
This
yeah.
sounds like a cult.
Shall we,
Future.
Is your
Don't piss off Krampus.
Hey, he's giving us the option. We're going to the
With
future.
all respect, Krampus, we want the whole story.
choice?
Future.
Very well. As he
Y'all are gonna be the death of us one day with y'all snark.
Hey,
Ah.
I'm
you all are
Well,
You all
hello,
are-
Miss Kettle.
you all
Yes,
are
hello,
up
Mr. Pitt.
front with Mikhail as you see people being thrown in front of him as they're on their knees. As he turns around, you see him in a suit with badges. As one hand is on the hilt of a golden sword. As you see a large scar down his face.
Oh boy.
Why have you brought them to me? They tried to escape, my lord. Commander. They tried to escape where? There's a boat. Not far from Timbervale. I'm assuming this is part of the resistance, my lord. As you see him stepping, you hear the leather in his boots tighten with each step. As he bends down, you see him sniff. Up off your knees. As he pats them on the back. They are in no trouble. You weren't trying to do anything, were you? No, Lord Commander. Good, good, good. Before you go, I have a question. Are you hiding any rebels in your home? No, Lord. Then you wouldn't mind if I had a tour of your house, would you? Of course not. Good. Then let's go, shall we?
Smooth operator.
As you
On that
all
much.
are going into a home, you go into the home, it seems very empty. What do you do?
Keep watching.
So, I don't suppose there's what's the name for it? I don't think it's a cellar, but I don't know what it would be called besides cellar. Is there a cellar door?
It would be
There's
so
not
cruelly.
a cellar door.
It would be so cruelly poetic if this were his childhood home.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
It could be.
In fact, I'll walk over to where the cellar door would have been had it been there. And since we're here in spirit, I'm going to see if I can't poke my head down through.
It looks exactly the same as
Yep.
when you were down there with Mikhail.
Shit, guys.
As you look down, though, the place where you saw Mikhail, you also see a family of refugees in the exact spot where Mikhail was. As Mikhail, with each step, you hear the leather. I'm quite parched. Do you mind if I ask you for a glass of milk? Of course.
This is bad. How did he come to this?
As he sits down and he's handed the milk. Thank you. Do you know why they call me the Gilded Guard? Because you're the Lord Commander of Midas's army.
I think at that. Well, no. Can't pass judgment yet. Gotta see what he does with these people.
Are you aware of my other name? You see sweat dripping down the man. No. I think your friend does. Don't you? Do you mind telling him? Spine wrencher.
Wait.
And why do I have the name Spine Wrencher? I'd rather not say. I've become really good at my job. I also am always aware of exactly where people like to hide. I was very good at it myself when I was a child. And if I know this home like I do, I would forge a guess if I were to keep refugees
that were trying to be rebellious, not only against Lord Midas, but from our great savior, Sherlock himself. Well, I'd probably keep them right here. As you see him quickly draw out his sword and stab into the floor. As you hear a
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we've seen where this goes.
He undoubtedly has become a monster.
If I
Mhm.
remove my sword right now, what do you think would be on the end of it? Nothing?
Or something.
Seen double agents before.
I'm going to
seen
give you a
something else.
choice. You can tell me who they are and where the rest of them are. Or I'll remove this sword.
I think we've seen enough.
Do you have a verdict?
No. But I have a proposal.
He snaps his fingers. All three are standing before you right now. And you're right back in Krampus's domain. As you all are in his throne room, all three are standing before you.
It is time.
My proposal is this. The past is immutable, but the future is only probable. Let
see
us
that?
say one thing to each of them. Let them do what they will with that knowledge. And if it is not enough, as you can clearly check, then you can take them now. But they deserve an answer. One sentence. Per child. I want to be very clear. Per child is what I'm proposing, not one overall sentence.
That is very, very important to distinguish.
Clarify.
Each of you roll persuasion.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, no, more going persuade much anything.
22.
Seems like Mick got a net 20.
13.
I got a
I'm at
natural
13.
20. I got
I
a
got a-
23.
I got a 22 total. Which is insane.
I will allow you one sentence per. You may begin.
Okay.
I do have one thing, guys. I say we let Leon speak to Lizzie.
Yes.
Magic user to magic user.
Please
Alright.
give us a moment to discuss what we will say.
I give you 2 minutes.
Okay.
Very gracious, thank you.
Okay.
So-
So I already have ideas for Rudy. We want to remind him that greed killed his brother. If we can tell him that when he's looking at the necklace, it will best impact. For Lizzie, remember your mother. Because when she was young, was proud of her biological mother. Remember Abigail. I'm not sure exactly when the best time for that would be, but seeing as how we can only tell them these things, it's going to be whenever they
You are not your stepmother. I think that suits better.
And
That
what about
does.
the spine wrencher?
I have nothing for him.
That might be. Then that might fall on me. It'll fall on
His
me.
father died to protect him, and he became the very thing his father was trying to protect him from. But we can't give him that knowledge.
I think it's more important to remind him of the fact that he was so heavily reliant upon his mother's approval after that. He is
Which
in
your
his
mother think?
childhood. He is in his childhood home. The home that he shared with his mother. What would she think of her beloved son doing this to the people that he was wanting so desperately to protect?
We already know the answer to that.
No,
was
he lived for
convinced-
pride.
He was convinced that she would be proud of him. For
And
getting
pride
another
is dangerous.
position.
He needs to live for himself. How can we convince him of that?
It'd be wise to warn him that. I say it. It is probably most wise to simply warn him that continuing this way ensures his damnation.
He was already idolizing Midas as
He
a
already
young
idolized
age.
Midas as a small child. Yes. I mean, as he got older, as in the present, it would probably be best to have it said to him that that going down this path seals his fate of eternal torture. It's going to have to be done very, very delicately, but
We have one sentence. The road you walk is a dark and dangerous one. Pride goeth before a fall.
That's pretty much the message to communicate.
and this is a steep slope you tread. I think that is probably what is going to be said to Mikhail.
I think this is on you. Moxie, you have a way with words.
Good luck, people with higher charisma scores. I'm sitting this one out.
Meta! I love it.
Then Moxie will go up to Mikhail and whisper, "Pride goeth before a fall, and this is a steep and deadly slope you tread."
Roll charisma.
I thought that was what the persuasion was for.
No, that was allowing us to do this.
Yep.
Standard charisma, that's a 24. The bard doth bard again.
Bard doth bard, and bardly things they bard.
Next.
Delicious.
Though, if for some reason the next person who needs to roll a charisma check wants to take inspiration from that, take the D10 of inspiration.
Thank you kindly. All right, Lizzie next. Remember, you are your mother's child? Or how are we going to say it? Leon, this is you, yes?
Yes, this is me. Leon will step up. You are not your stepmother. You are so much more.
Next.
Rokai steps up to Rudy and says, "Greed killed your brother and will surely claim any who chase it."
Now that you have said what you wish to say, what would you like to do?
And we see their futures now.
Let us see what they do with the words we have offered.
Yes, let us see what they do with their wisdom.
Do you believe that what you have said has made a difference.
We believe it is the best we can do with a single sentence.
As you say, this all comes to free will. We have
Then
offered
let
nothing more
us-
than a parting word on the street.
Then let us see what they have chosen for themselves. Who would you like to see first?
Rudy.
Let's see Rudy first.
As
Go
well
down
go in
the line.
order.
Yep.
He waves his hand as you all are there. As he is doing his normal sales, you see a young woman around the age of 20 coming up to Rudy. And how is it that I can help you, dear? As his eyes how can I help you? Hi, Rudy. It's been a long time.
God, is it his sister?
Sister.
Sarsha.
How can I help you? I'm dying. I heard that you're doing really well for yourself. Was wondering if you had anything that could help me. um, uh, and anyone else need as she grabs his hand. Please, brother.
Come on, Rudy.
It's your little sister.
Do a right thing. I gotta say, I was rather hoping the message would hit them in the present.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is we're seeing the future.
Thing is,
That's what we chose to see.
The
Mm.
thing is, he's a snake oil salesman.
Mm-hmm.
By not helping, he's helping. But he can't communicate.
Let's
that.
not play the psychological game.
Yeah.
If he
So
wanted to
hoping
help
he'll
her,
do
he'd give her
something.
some gold.
Well, he's still debating. There's still time.
Just wait and see. Come on, Rudy.
Baby sister, for Pete's sake. You can't at least offer her a hug?
What are you doing? Now. I live at an orphanage. I help. There's a lot of kids that aren't doing so well. They could use a lot of this. Your help. Show me. That's all for today, everyone. As he locks up and he drives her with his carriage over to the orphanage. As he goes inside the orphanage, Morgal, you look around. You see all these sick and troubled kids. All of you are hit by how much they're suffering. As he looks at his cart, Sarsha, I don't really think I'm the right. You are. You always helped me. Give me 1 hour, and I'll be back.
Oh, better come back.
Okay. He gets into the carriage. Yeah. As he you see him go around the town. As he goes to the mayor. Which is King Midas. Hello. Midas? What can I do for you?
Come on, Rudy. You got this.
In my carriage, I have a great many things. I also have 12,000 gold pieces.
Holy
The man's a fucking millionaire.
thousandaire.
Multi-millionaire. Well, in
Okay.
modern, in
Yeah,
over table
Yeah.
terms. Good.
I guess if we're talking bronze.
Oh my everything. He's a regular
Which would you
Scrooge
like?
McDuck.
Which would you like to help the children at the orphanage? Food, clothing, maybe a healer from out of town, if you could spare it. I'll tell you what. I'll help you.
Mm.
But I'm going to need it all by me.
I knew he was going there.
Give me everything you had. And your wish will be granted.
He looks back over to where the orphanage is. He looks at his cart. He looks at the necklace.
Come on, Rudy.
As he yanks it off and throws it into the cart. Take it all.
One soul redeemed.
Very well, then.
As a new cart is rolled out.
Take this cart over to the orphanage. You'll find everything in there.
As he picks up Rudy's old cart and he puts it onto what he's fashioned into a makeshift table out of the tree.
Such blatant disrespect for the tree, damn.
As Rudy comes back with the cart, you see his sister come out with 4 orphans that are hugging at her leg.
Aw. Tiny
As you
ones are
see
always
him
the
open
sweetest.
the cart, a big smile goes across his face. Hello there, one and all. Step right up, kids. What would you like? Apple pie, turkey, maybe a little bit of stuffing.
Pumpkin pie.
Who's hungry? What does it cost, sir? A game. You have to play a game with me. It was a favorite of my little brother. I'll teach it to you all. Come on, lads, help me get the turkey in there.
Yeah,
Hey.
Rudy! Proud of him.
Have you made a verdict
Doesn't come with
on
you.
the soul of Rudy?
Rudy's soul does not go with you, good sir.
Let me try and phrase this more appropriately to your concerns. He has demonstrated redemption.
Very well.
You all see what look like spiritual chains detach from Rudy as he starts going into the orphanage and go back to Krampus as it goes into the void that is his face.
One word at the right time can change the world.
Certainly changes a lot of things.
Next.
Let's see Lizzie.
Don't know if I'm more afraid or excited to see how this goes.
I'm nervous-sided. I'm a bit of both.
Yeah.
I can tell from how frantically your foot is tapping and your throat is thrashing. Oy!
I'll just hold on to that then.
You all see that Lizzie is out of her chains and is let out of the institution. as she you see the stepmother.
Okay, that's a positive
Mhm.
start.
You tried to have me killed. You see her just pass her into the home. Is that all that you're going to say to me? You can clearly see a scar on the back of her head. I had every right to lock you up, you murderess.
Hmm.
Your father had it coming. My family lineage gone. You see Lizzie just staring at the couch where her father died. Are you going to speak to me? Forge our own chains. What was that? You forged yours a long time ago. You see that Lizzie in the foyer, standing in front of the fireplace, just staring at the couch.
What are you doing, Lizzie?
Papa used to read me a story. All the time. Right there. I loved it when he read me. I haven't been able to read any book in 6 years. You stupid girl. Bringing up your father again. How many times do I have to tell you? As she goes up to try and slap her, you see her arm. You doing?
Magic.
As you
His Lizzie was a
see
late bloomer.
a magical chain. As you see Lizzie, whose arms are behind her back, slowly turn around and look as she just lifts her head as her stepmom goes to the ceiling. We forge our own chain. As you can see, I graduated with honors. Didn't I? You let me down from here, you little bitch. Gladly.
Oh no. Lizzie, don't
Does he?
You're not her. Be better than her.
As the fires from the fireplace roll out, they creep up the walls. As they start to burn down the house.
Forge our own chains.
This is it? This is her end?
This is
She brings herself to this end. Is that what we're to believe?
that not exactly how it appears?
You see her walk out of the house and into the graveyard as she has a book. The same book that she was reading to her mother. As she opens a page.
Hi, Mom. Shall we pick up where we left off? I don't believe I have very much time. What chapter would you like to read today? How's Papa?
As she looks over to the gravestone next to her mother's. You see his name written in the stone as well. So you finally did it, did you? Lizzie?
Who the hell is that?
Wait and see. Guess it's as good as mine.
You see the police behind her.
I knew you'd be here soon. I give myself willingly. I only wanted to read my mother one more story. My papa didn't deserve what happened to him.
We did not.
And she didn't die that day. I was unable to stop her. I thought that karma got the best of her. It didn't. God's never answered any of my prayers. So in my confinement,
Oh,
everything you all said about me became true. I never killed my father. I never tried to kill her. But you hear enough stories about people telling you that you're a monster.
You see tears rolling down her face.
You might just start to believe it.
I'm torn.
Take me away, please.
if any of you boys fight me on what I'm about to say, you will die on the spot. The answer is
Alright.
not guilty.
Not guilty. You already knew we were going to say not guilty on this. Why make it dramatic like that?
Well, Rokai just said he was torn, and I was about to skin him.
Hear me out. There are two ways to go with this. The one that intrinsically I know we all think should be done. And spare her.
Hmm.
From Krampus. But in doing so, condemn her to this life. Or the other way. Allow Krampus to take her and spare her from this. Because clearly, and looking at him now, I can tell Krampus knows, as we do, that she does not deserve what has come of her. But does she deserve to suffer? Would it not be a mercy?
You call that merciful?
I don't know.
It isn't.
Neither is knowingly putting her in a cell.
Her choice.
Here, at least, she got her justice. And I will call it that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not vengeance.
Nope.
And this is yet to be still. Should we go and destroy Midas and such before this ever happens? This doesn't happen.
That is true. Every bit of suffering we're seeing here is a result of our action. And we have been known to change things before. She is showing us here that she can do better.
Events are happening. With or without your influence, they would have happened another way. Do not blame yourselves for the
No,
actions
That's not what I'm doing.
of others.
I was merely hoping that we could go and try to avert some of these things. At least
What
help the
has
poor child.
Happened has happened. What you choose now will decide whether or not they will continue or come with me.
She is still young. And she has shown that she can resist the darker calling. She was an innocent soul burdened with a terrible darkness that followed her. And yes, she made a very grave choice, but I believe she will improve. She does not deserve.
So, Crimson Blade, what is your verdict?
She isn't guilty.
Not guilty. I just wish I could do more.
She will have an unhappy life.
But it's a life with closure. That's more than most of us get.
And one of her design.
Then we
She chose that
move
one.
now to Mikhail.
Indeed. Let us see where his words of wisdom have gotten him.
I do not have high hopes for him. He had gone so far down a dark path.
More people are thrown at his feet. As you see him now wearing what looks like a helm of gold. Well, now,
I expect this differently. Okay.
more rebels.
going to give you the same choices that I give to everybody. All of you act the same. You hide and cower. But you're like mice and rats. You congregate together. So, reveal to me where you're hiding the others, and I will spare you. Do you have any rebels living in your home? No, your Lord Commander. Then you wouldn't mind if I took a little tour of your house. As they go into the home, he sits down in the chair. You hear hit the leather of his gloves. I don't know if that was picked up on the
It
It
camera.
did
was.
pick up.
It did.
Would you mind if I had a warm glass of milk? I'm assuming you know the way that I do business. I'm very good at what I do. Where are they? Sir, we don't have anyone here. I know you are lying to me. Tell me where they are!
I see two options here. He's either as bad as ever or he's a double agent.
As he has the blade up,
I'm going to stab this blade.
as he moves his foot across the wood grain.
Right here. And when I pull out, if there's red on your ledger, then you both are going to suffer the consequences.
As he goes to stab, you hear, "Oh, come, all ye faithful,
That's surprising.
That's
joyful, and triumphant."
What was that? Please, Lord Commander. Just walk away. What are they doing down there?
You see him rip open the carpets as he looks down in there. As you see four families that are all gathered around just a few candles, and they have a small bird that they have cooked as they're trying to share it with each other.
What is this? Please, sir. It's the holidays. We're just trying to celebrate it. We might not make it out of this town. Just walk away.
You see one of the children. You can have this. As you see, it's a teddy bear. As Mikhail takes it,
That was his, wasn't it? When he was little. He's remembered the words.
Where did you get this?
I saw a lady in the alley. She told me I know who to give it to.
What does she look like?
I think you know, sir.
Don't you
Shrewd
dare
kid.
Don't you dare disrespect your mama now, boy.
What was that?
He looks over into the corner, and you all can see the spirit of his mother. Standing there with his father, looking at him.
Go.
What was that, Lord?
Go.
It's a tunnel system. 3 blocks down.
Take the children and go. It will take you out to the port. There you will meet a man that has a boat. He'll ferry you to where you need to go. Just leave me. Yes, sir.
As you see everyone start to leave, as he goes down into the crawl space and just sits. And right in front of the candlelight, you see the spirit of his mother and his father appear beside him. As the small bird sits in between them, he looks down at the teddy bear as his father puts a hand on his shoulder.
So not to be that guy, but he's still a fucking Nazi.
Mikhail
As the pirate.
Mikhail has made many decisions and tread a very dark path. But I think his actions tonight prove that there is no darkness so deep a soul cannot have mercy.
Have you made a verdict?
Proven that he can be redeemed.
And if he does not take the path that we have been shown, someone else surely will. And who's to say if they would do better or worse for mankind? Or all kind?
Would you like to see more?
There's a
The
reason.
way the story continues.
Curiosity certainly insists.
If more information can be gleaned, I'm more than happy to see that.
I know
As
that
you all-
you didn't spare.
A lifetime of bad decisions cannot be erased with a single spur of the moment act.
Decision.
So I
As you all
suppose-
see the family going, all the families going down, as they open the pathway, you see guards that were waiting for them.
Of course.
And you see Mikhail good to see you, Mom and Dad. Did I make you proud yet?
He was given a chance. He was given every chance. And he still chose this.
Take him away.
I always get my quarry.
Not this time.
Drag him.
As you see him going out of the crawl space, you see shadows starting to surround him.
Going to be good.
Mikhail.
I warned you, buddy.
Who said that?
You have been judged. I find you to be very naughty.
Yep.
What do you mean by, as you see out of the shadows, Krampus comes as embers from the fire roll out and become the elves. As they go and they grab Mikhail, you see 18 chains, one for each year of his life, as they grab onto different parts of his body as they come forth from the void that grabs onto Mikhail.
Welcome to your new home. A gift for you.
You see one lump of coal as he drops it into his hand. What the hell is... As you see him get drug into the fireplace, as you all are back in Krampus's throne room, you see Mikhail splayed across chains, grabbing into his flesh as they are pulling him taut.
You had your chance. You blew it.
No, please! I can
Moxie.
change!
Moxie
Clearly
looks
not.
up to him. You had every opportunity.
You walk a dark and dangerous path. Pride goeth before a fall.
And it is a deadly and slippery slope you tread. Those were the
No,
words that we gave you.
No! No! No, no, please! Please, please! As you see the top of the citadel open, you see that giant flaming eye look down at Mikhail as Krampus pushes him into the eye. No, 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 please, please! As the eye closes,
Not everyone can be saved.
Nope. Clearly. There is no...
Crimson Blade. Thank you for helping me. You chose wisely. I admire your judge of character. So, I will help you.
Thank you, Lord Krampus. That feels so over table. That feels so weird to say. Want to make sure
What?
that was over table.
Over table, he said it was weird to go and say those two words strung together.
What
Thank
you
you,
are
Lord.
looking for. What you are looking for will be in a box. Just like this.
Hmm.
Someone boxed up Frosty?
No,
The
he's talking
key.
about the key.
Oh,
The key will be in the box. Frostclaw resides in nowhere else but my brother's workshop.
You'd think that'd be the first place he'd think to look.
well, right under your own nose is often people look. So are we going to the North Pole or the Icewind Dale? I'm not sure how this works.
You're
Figured
going
out
to
Mention
the
where
very
Frost was.
tip of the dimensions that lie between.
Oh,
At
right.
the northernmost point of the auroras of this most northern tip of Thera.
Is essentially the North Pole. Okay.
Yeah, as far north as you can.
But that's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
Frostclaw is smart. He's learned both from me and my brother. The reason my brother does not know that he is there is because all of my brother's snow globes have been tampered with.
Ah, okay.
Ooh. Does that include the new one?
You shall see. Goodbye,
Oh, boy.
Crimson Blades. I do hope you can save the holiday. I'll see you in your sleep.
Hopefully not. Anyway.
Preferably not at the end of chains, but thank you.
Ho, ho, ho.
As you all are
Mercy.
surrounded by snow, you look off into the distance as you see Santa's workshop.
Oh,
And
this
you
is gonna be
hear,
fun.
That's it, everyone. Good job. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done.
you can
Dear.
see a bunch of workers that are around, elves that are muddled into snow, seemingly almost transforming into snow golems themselves. You see what looks like literally a snowman atop a mechanical
Okay, well,
machine.
don't tell me that's the giant mini we saw.
As you see a silk hat, a carrot nose, as he's smoking a corncob pipe.
Hey,
You
Morgul,
see
Mm-hmm.
want to punch a
Frost Claw
snowman?
Oh, I
Do
was-
you
himself.
want to punch a snowman?
No.
Oh my god.
Not that one.
Not that.
You see
Oh, dear
Frost
Jesus,
Claw
have mercy.
himself.
I love it.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness. He's going to be fun to melt down and turn into slushies.
That's it, everyone. Keep working.
So, who's got fireball ready?
I have the Mace of Uldak. I get to turn him into slush instantly.
Crimson Blade.
And people really do know who we are around here.
Look at the amount of
at
shit
least
we've
our
done.
names getting around.
How you
Don't
doing,
be
Marshmallow?
surprised. I've seen your names on the naughty and night.
I mean, yeah,
We
we
spent a
tend to
little
swap
time on
lists a lot.
A lot.
Speak for
So,
yourself, Moxie.
let's see what you're needing. Welcome to Frostclaw's workshop.
And that is where we're going to end, everyone. I thank you so much for joining us tonight
I'm so glad
on
you
the
got
first part of our holiday special.
there. I'm so
I
glad we
hope
got
that-
there because I was hanging on to that you punch a snowman thing since you introduced Frostclaw as a concept.
I hope that you all maybe had a little tear jerk. Maybe you felt something.
Oh, I did.
Maybe you even have a little more holiday spirit. Join us next time and see where our characters end up when they fight Frostclaw the Snowman. Join us soon, everybody. And I hope that each and every single one of you have a very good holiday season. If you've missed anything, click the links and do keep an eye in the shadows. Don't be naughty. We'll see you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Oh,
Merry
that was